Okay, episode 63. How crazy. It's a new year. It's 2021. We've all been talking in 2020 how 2021 is going to be amazing. Start of 2021 have had a lot of stress and a lot of craziness already around it. However, I choose not to let it get me down, and I want to share this quote with you right now. This quote is from an author, L.R. Knost. I think I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, I'm so sorry. Life is amazing, and then it's awful, and then it's amazing again. And in between the amazing and the awful, it's ordinary and mundane and routine. Breathe in the amazing, hold on through the awful, and relax and exhale during the ordinary. That's just living heartbreaking, soul healing, amazing, awful, ordinary life. And it's breathtakingly beautiful. I'm going to say it again, okay? I want you to listen to this twice. Life is amazing, and then it's awful, and then it's amazing again. And then in between the amazing and the awful, it's ordinary and mundane and routine. Breathe in the amazing, hold on through the awful, and relax and exhale during the ordinary. That's just living a heartbreaking, soul healing, amazing, ordinary life. And it's breathtakingly beautiful. Just sit on that.
Excuse me, Mom. Mom, excuse me. Mom, excuse me, Mom.
Welcome to Next Stop Crazy Town. This is Juliette Hahn, and I am the host of this weekly pod. I'm going to be sharing with you guys a little glimpse of my crazy world. I'm a mom of 3, and I have 2 crazy boxer dogs. I will have guests some weeks, and some weeks it will just be me, but I will always be talking about uncomfortable things that have happened to me before motherhood or during motherhood. I just want you to know that you are not alone in this crazy world. Things happen that people don't like to talk about. But guess what? I do. I cannot wait for you guys to join me every week just to get a little laugh. Okay, so as I said in the beginning, 2021, everyone was like, it's going to be so different. I mean, I can't imagine that everyone thought it's going to be so different with one day to the next, right? We are still all trying to figure out what is going on in this world, politically, spiritually, educationally, all these different things, right? And life is messy. And that's why I love this quote so much. I actually posted it in, I have a group on Facebook called Pure Laughter. Now, this is not funny, but I do some inspiring posts. Usually they're pretty funny posts because I feel like we just all need a laugh every day because things are so serious. So I find really funny quotes and memes and I add there. If you guys want to be added, I will put the link in the show notes. But this quote really spoke to me because right now, every day we still wake up. Are the kids going to be going to school? Do I still have my job? Does my husband still have his job? Are we still having an income? Are we still being able to do the things that we've been doing? Right? I know a lot of places sports are shut down. We have been very fortunate that sports are still going. A lot of it, they're doing it outside. The kids are freezing their asses off, but it's still okay because they're still moving and running their body and not just sitting around, which is a blessing. It really is a blessing. But life is messy, guys. And you know what? When I read that quote, I have to say, literally, I feel like it's my life, right? I've had such truly amazing times in my life. And it's funny because I think back when the kids were little, and life is hard when they're little for another reason. But when my kids were little, life was hard just as a toddler mom. But the rest of my world was pretty amazing. It was pretty amazing. I really did not have a worry in the world. I really didn't. Maybe here and there, probably I've suppressed it and stuffed it. But for the most part, my husband had an amazing, steady job. I was always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, so I was living my dream. Sleep deprivation and all that kind of stuff was hard, but my family was healthy. My extended family was healthy. We were seeing my family all the time. Seeing my husband's family. It just was really, really good. And then I think as the kids got older, life became more complicated. And it's not even so much complicated because the kids are older, just the way the world has changed and different things. And then, the pandemic hit. And I have to say, I reached out, and I would love if she listens to this, but I used to babysit for a family, and I was like an au pair. I'd traveled with them through high school and college. I think it was probably more college. And we always exchanged Christmas cards, and they, gave me their whole rundown. They have 4 kids. And she was saying, it must be so hard. I don't envy parents today. And I said to her, you know what? It's such as life, right? You had to parent kids during 9/11 where they understood what was happening. That's hard in itself. This is hard also in a different way, but I think it teaches us resilience. It teaches us to be parents and to parent through tough times. It just teaches you how life can be hard. Life is not always easy, not even when, people are financially blessed or spiritually blessed or whatever they are. Everyone goes through hard seasons in their life, but it is how you handle it. And I always say to people, in the hard seasons, you need to sit in that hard season. You can't just brush it and stuff it. I always say to my kids, we just had a funeral of an uncle that was really tough. It was a really beautiful ceremony, but it was really tough. And, when I was talking to the kids, especially the boys, I was like, how are you feeling? And they, of course they love when their mom wants to dig deep. My husband wouldn't dig deep into your feelings. They fucking don't like it. Let me just put it that way. And I'm laughing because they literally look at me and they're like, oh, what is she going to say? I can be an uncomfortable mom because I don't want my kids to stuff their feelings and then later in life not know how to deal with feelings. I want them to talk about it, and I want us to talk about it and have a discussion. Now, again, my boys really don't like when I do this. My husband, not so much either. My daughter and I can even though she's not as free with her feelings either, but she can express them and talk about them and then move on. But I was saying to them, you're stuffing. And they're like, I'm not stuffing. I'm just processing. Can I just process? And I was like, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Yes, you can process. They're like, if I need to have a cry, I'm going to have a cry by myself. Now, that stabbed me in the heart a little bit because it was like, oh, we used to be able to do that as, they used to be able to come to me and do that. But they're older. They're 13 and 15. They don't want to have a cry out with their mom because I'm sure they also think, oh, what the fuck is she going to talk about now? She's going to want to talk about feelings, fuzzy things. And they don't want to do that. And I don't want to push them away and have them do that. But I want them to know it is okay to cry and be sad. And I love that they said to me, I'm not stuffing, I'm just processing. Can you give me a second? Give me a fucking second. And I was like, you're right. I'm trying to make you feel something that maybe you're not, and that's okay. So that is also the journey in life, right? We all have different emotions. We all have different feelings. And it's the way we handle them and the way that we process them and then the way that we deal with them. And I have to say, as a woman, as a mom, I just want my kids to be happy and know that they can express their feelings in every way, but not be happy all the time. I want them to know that there's times that are hard and they can be pissed and they're allowed to show that they're pissed. They can be sad and they're allowed to express their sad. I want them to be able to do that because I really feel as humans, we need to live and sit in an emotion that we have and not push it away or self-medicate it. And I have to say, as I've gotten older, there's times where I want to numb. I don't want to feel anymore. I don't want to express. I don't want to talk about it. And I get it, but I also don't want my kids to then take that on and do that as adults, right? I want them to be more healthy about it. Hey moms, I'm talking to you. Do you feel so tired at 3 o'clock, like you run 1,000 marathons? Are you struggling with finding a good fitness routine or something that is basic for beginners or that is advanced because your gym is closed? Are you struggling with your nutrition? If you have said yes to any of those, please reach out because I can help you in a safe, fun environment. And I'm running a special this month that I would love to share with you. So I want you guys to think about it right now, where you are and how you're dealing with everything that's going on. All right? I really want you to think about that. And it's funny because when I was starting to sit down to do this episode, it's a Sunday. My episodes launch on Wednesday. And I was like, oh my God, my podcast is supposed to be funny and light and taking people out of their fucking misery or taking people out of their crazy life. And I don't feel funny right now. I have moments, but I don't feel like nothing funny has really happened. We're going through the motions. We're surviving. Are you going to have a job next month? To my husband, are you, kids, are you failing this subject and not really, they're not failing, but are you holding on? Are you okay? Are you okay emotionally? Are you okay, in all aspects of life. And as parents, but as moms, we take on everyone's emotions. And I don't know if every mom does it, but I think we do. I really think we do. And all moms take it on certain levels. But I know myself, I am constantly thinking about my children and my husband and my dogs and my family, and just wanting to make sure that I am there and giving them an outlet, or that they are able to have an outlet, and that they are not withdrawing or whatever. And my family is not a withdrawing family. I mean, we are open. We do talk about things, but raising teenagers in this time, to the point of when I was talking to the woman that I used to babysit for, is tough, but it is always tough, right? Every generation has had something that they've had to work through. Every generation has had a tragedy that they've had to work through. And we can do it because we are strong people, but we have to sit in our emotions and then know how we're going to get out of them. We can't sit and stay in them, because that is the unhealthy part, and that's where we can't do. So if you guys are feeling like you're sitting and staying in your emotions, I urge you to pick up a book, read something, talk to a therapist, talk to a friend, get it out, talk to your spouse, talk to your child, talk to a parent, talk to a sibling, whatever you need to do. Don't sit in the sorrow and the emotion for too long. And again, we are very fortunate. We have not had tons and tons of tragedy throughout this. We did have an uncle pass due to COVID, which was really heartbreaking and really sad. And I'm going to miss this man. He came for every Christmas Eve, and it's been really hard. And I got really pissed. I have to say, my neighbors, when my husband called me, I was walking the dogs, and I started screaming fuck at the top of my lungs and kicking snow piles and throwing sticks. If someone was looking out their window, they would have been like, holy shit. There was actually an oil man that stopped his car because I fell in the street sobbing, and I'm going to get emotional right now. But those are the tiny things. I let it out. Then I took a breath. I said some prayers. I was pissed. I was pissed at God that he wanted Uncle Gerard at this time, because I wasn't ready to let him go. And we see him, once or twice a year. My husband talks to him often. I talk to him on occasion. But it was someone from my husband's family, and it hurt. And he was careful, and he was careful of COVID. He did all the right things. He just went to church. I was pissed, but I allowed myself to be pissed. I did feel guilty a little bit, because I did, as I said, I really had a moment in the street. And then I knew I needed to talk to the kids. And the kids, they were preparing for Uncle Gerard maybe coming for Christmas Eve. We were going to quarantine, get tested. And it sucked. It sucked. It really sucked, because they were looking forward to seeing him and having relatives, because we haven't seen relatives, and our family is close. And so it was really hard. And we all have had hard things happen to us. But I have to say, we have been blessed probably more. My husband still has his job. I still have my job. But things are shaky, right? It's all shaky, and we don't know when it's not going to happen. But I will not let this take me down, because I am right now, as that quote said, right now, I'm holding on through the awful. And right now, things are not ordinary, but I'm holding on through the awful, and I'm taking a breath and thanking God and the universe for the days that are really good and good things happen. And I'm counting my blessings, because I have been blessed through this whole thing as well. So I want you guys to do the same thing. Again, I'm sorry. My second episode is not like a funny shit piss tampon story. I will get back to them. I promise you guys I will. But right now, I just want you guys to take care of yourselves. Talk to someone if you need to, because it is important. And share my podcast. Send it to your friends. Send it to someone that you think might need this. Even though I say fuck, maybe just let them know. She says fuck. Again, Juliet at nextstopcrazytown.com. Facebook, Juliet Hahn. Twitter, Juliet Hahn. Instagram, Juliet LYF3, or Next Stop Crazy Town. And on Facebook, the group that I do have funny things, if you guys want to be added to that, it's literally, there's nothing else in there except quotes. It's just fun quotes or thoughtful quotes. Pure laughter. Living a clean life with a dirty mouth. Trust me, it's fun. It's it is good, and you'll get some really thoughtful things. Please share this with your friends, guys. Hopefully something fucking funny happens this week. I can take you out of your world and not just have you thinking about heavy stuff. But let's just say prayers that 2021, less people pass, more people achieve their goals and live the life that they want to live. All right, guys, see you next week. I hope you liked this episode of Next Stop Crazy Town. If you liked what you heard, please subscribe to my channel, share with your friends, and join in every week. For more information, check out nextstopcrazytown.com.